Hello, Abby of Abby Tails Pet Services here, dog trainer, and I'm doing this video in partnership with Tails.com. We've decided that a video is needed about bringing your puppy home, and this is relevant if you're bringing your puppy home during lockdown and after, whenever that is. So, let's get started. So, first, research. Research on the best breed or breed mix for you and your household. Bear in mind the activity level of the breeds you're looking at and the activity level of you and your household, the space you have in your home and garden, the time you have. You should make sure you have enough time to have a puppy in general. That is very, very important. However, some breeds will need more time. They'll need more exercise. All breeds will need mental stimulation as well as physical exercise. However, some breeds will need more physical exercise than others, not when they're teeny tiny puppies, but you need to prepare for that. And cost. So as well as the cost of actually buying the puppy and travelling to the puppy, etc., bear in mind insurance costs. This varies for different breeds drastically. Vet costs, so vet monthly plans that you can have, will vary depending on the vet, depending on the size. So if you have a giant breed, it's usually a tad more expensive. Food, the amount of food you're going to need to feed them will vary depending on breed, depending on size, and activity level. Research food first, also, before bringing pup home. Very important, but we'll get to that in a second. Don't just excitedly pick the first puppy you see. Now, I am actually planning on doing a video purely about pre-pup. So preparing for a puppy. So we'll go into that in more detail in that video. But I just wanted to point out there, do your research, talk to multiple breeders, talk to professionals, talk to people you trust, and get into your mind what breed would be best for you, not just one that you think is cute or a breeder that is close to you. So bear that in mind. Prepare your home. So puppy-proof your home and puppy-proof your garden. Make sure that the garden is secure, make sure the fencing is tall enough and there aren't any gaps. Make sure that the plants in your garden are not toxic to your puppy, that any household plants are not toxic. If you do have toxic plants, as in ones that give off anything toxic, get rid of them. Others should be kept out of reach anyway, at least to start with. Make sure that wires and things like that are out of the way. You can cover them up and things, stuff like that. I would suggest baby gates, puppy pens, have a crate, have multiple puppy beds, blankets. You're going to need to wash them regularly. Air fresheners, if you use air fresheners and candles even, make sure they are animal safe. If they're not, get rid of them and use ones that are animal safe. Chemicals, make sure they're popped away, and food and everything like that, that goes without saying. So things you'll need, bedding and crate, we've said that. Bowls, so food bowls and water bowls. Now make sure that the water bowls are deep enough to hold enough water, sufficient water for your puppy, so you're not having to top it up every 10 minutes. Also needs to be deep enough so that your puppy's tongue doesn't hit the bottom every time they're drinking. That can put them off. They don't like it, discourage them from drinking in general. Not always, but still we want to prepare for that. I have 2 water bowls, one in the lounge, one in the kitchen. You could have multiple, but definitely make sure you have at least one. And one in each room where your pup will be most of the time as well. Toys, things to chew, things to chase that you can play with them, train them with. Cleaning supplies, leads, collars, harnesses. Best to get after you bring your puppy home, to be honest, for measurements and things. Grooming equipment that is appropriate for the breed and for the age of pup. Now, regarding coat and coat health, you don't need to groom every day. However, to work on the bond with your puppy and to desensitize them to having certain areas of their body touched, I would suggest grooming them even for just a few minutes a day, every day. It really helps. And like I said, it really helps with bonding as well, which will really help with training in general and the welfare of your puppy and the sanity of you. Also, Questions regarding grooming, I have a video about introducing nail clipping on my YouTube channel, part 1 and part 2. But also any questions, I highly suggest messaging Hund Dog Care, based in Solihull. They do have an Instagram page and Facebook and website. And if you're in the Solihull, Birmingham area or surrounding areas, I would definitely suggest using Hund as your groomer. She does puppy inductions, force-free, fabulous. She takes wonderful photos and she's very approachable as well. I would also sort out your vets before bringing your puppy home. So choose a vet, sort out an appointment. Make sure that you're familiar with foods that are poisonous to dogs, including foliage. We've already spoken about that. If needs be, have it on your wall, especially if you've got multiple people in the household and they're not familiar. Now, regarding the breeder and the litter and things, meet the dam. Make sure you meet the dam, the mother of your puppy. It's not always possible to meet the sire, the father, because this could be a stud dog, so not necessarily owned by the breeder, and that's perfectly fine. But a picture would be nice. Paperwork, lineage, hip scores, things like that. You want those before you take the puppy home, either to be sent to you or presented to you on the day, not to be sent over to you afterwards. No. Vaccination card. Also, preferably have it sent over to you, or a picture sent over to you before you pick up pups, so you can check with your vets that they do the same brand of vaccinations. If not, you're going to have to restart them on new vaccinations, which can basically mean that you can't take them out for even longer period of time regarding walking. Now, regarding having a puppy during lockdown, you're not necessarily going to be able to go into their home. Therefore, you want videos of them playing, videos of them outside, videos with their litter mates, videos with their mother to prove that they are actually with their mother. Skype calls with the breeder. Ask as many questions as you want. Don't worry if they're silly questions. And if your breeder gets annoyed, then maybe they're not the breeder for you. Obviously, don't pester them at 2 a.m. and do your research first as well, but still. Best age, 8 to 10 weeks. Any earlier than that, they won't have had sufficient time to develop social skills with their litter mates and their mother. And later than 10 weeks, you're kind of taking away time that you can be socializing them with you, right? Very important. Also ask what food they've been weaned onto. Are you going to be given some food by the breeder, so that if you do want to wean them onto another food, that is fine, but do it gradually. So use the original food first. Any good dog food company will, whether that be kibble, wet or raw, will advise you as to how to gradually and safely change over to a different food. Are they going to provide insurance? Make sure your insurance starts just before the original insurance from the breeder finishes, or on the day that it finishes, so it's overlapping, as it were, just in case something happens, because otherwise you can be bitten in the bum. Now, before you choose your pup from the litter, analyse their interaction with you. If possible, I understand with lockdown not necessarily possible. Are they timid or are they confident? How are they interacting with their siblings? Has the breeder started toilet training? That's something to bear in mind. If you've already chosen a name, ask the breeder if they can use the name with the puppy to get them used to their name, right? Now, travelling home. Check if the puppy's been in a vehicle before. One would think so, yes, because of going to get vaccinations, but not necessarily. Ask how they were transported. Are they used to being in a crate in the car? Are they used to being in the boot, etc.? If not, you can have them either in a little bed or crate or just on your lap, just so it's a bit more comfortable for you, for them even. I would have regular breaks for a journey that's over 30 minutes, bearing in mind their bladders are really small, and for long journeys you definitely want multiple breaks. Maybe take a puppy pad, pop it down, because bearing in mind you want to be careful that they don't catch anything from being outside. If they have accidents, if they're sick, diarrhea, or pee, don't be angry at them. This is very strange for them, all right? It's a transition, a huge transition, okay? Just be a reassuring, calming presence. Don't overwhelm them with kisses and hugs and shoving your phone in their face and stuff like that. Now, once home, the important part that we're getting to while you're watching this video, although everything else is very relevant, it's best that you ensure that your home is quiet for the first few days, especially the first day, and no visitors, no unnecessary visitors, just the household. As soon as you get home, take them outside so that they can go to the toilet and allow to smell. Praise them if they go to the toilet, give them a treat, give them calm praise. Introduce them to their areas. So bed and crate, very important. They're going to need between 18 and 20 hours of sleep a day, so every 24 hours, so that's very important. I would suggest introducing a command for their bed and the crate. If you want a separate one for those, that's fine. Straight away. So, for example, I say, on your bed and crate, and with on your bed, and I point to the bed. I don't need to anymore, but I still do. It's become a habit. And when I was introducing that, I'd pop a treat on the bed. Good. Use your marker. Good. Good boy. Good girl. Yes. Just keep it consistent. Doesn't matter what you use. Consistency is key though, okay? Let them explore. Let them sniff. But if there are areas they can't go to, make sure you express this. So, So it's just an abrasive kind of noise. Move them away. Make sure they've got access to their water bowl. Let them explore. Don't crowd them. Regular toilet breaks for quite a long time. Make sure attention is on your terms. Very, very important. Depending on how they've been brought up by the breeder will depend on their personality, but also they're in a very new environment. So they might not want any attention at all for a little bit. They might be a bit timid or quite timid, or they might be wanting all the attention because, oh my goodness, this is quite scary. Well, I recognize your smell from being at my original home. I'm going to latch on to you. It's natural. However, attention should be on your terms. It's going to help set you up for the future and will really help your puppy. It will create a well-balanced, calm, happy puppy. And you also. Don't let them demand attention. And this will really help with bedtime. Really help. And will reinforce recall as well. You call them over to you. Choose a recall command. Don't just use their name. Meal times. Don't have an exact time set for every meal. Make sure that they're calm before being given their meal. I suggest gesture eating. I have a video about gesture eating. Have a look at that or ask me questions. First night. Sleep in the same room or multiple first few nights, as it were. Sleep in the same room as them. Have them in their crate. So sleeping in the same room is going to help the transition from original home to your home. Bear in mind, huge transition, okay? Huge. So, if they wake up multiple times in the night, which they probably will, take them out to go to the toilet, calmly praise them. If they do relieve themselves, pop them back into their crate. If you need to actually pop them in, do that, but this is why the command is helpful, so that they're doing this of their own accord. You're not forcing them in, as it were. And don't over interact with them. No, like good night or like, oh, it's okay, baby, because I understand why, but that will not help. They'll just be like, oh, you're giving me attention. You're not giving me attention. I'm freaking out because you're not giving me attention. If I freak out, you give me attention. I'm going to keep doing it. It's a vicious cycle. Okay? Right. With visitors, after a few days, make sure it's one at a time so you're not overwhelming. Get them to call the puppy over to them, but make sure it's calm interaction. If it's not calm, deal with that. Same with children, nice and calm. Show appropriate handling, no picking up, no hands in face. Leave them alone while they're sleeping and eating, no teasing, always supervise them. And same with other pets. Nice and gradual. Don't favour one over the other. Don't rush things, give them individual spaces to relax and supervise. Now, things to do before you can go on a walk. Work on heel, work on recall, work on leave, their name, desensitizing to collar and lead, sit, stay, threshold training. Very important. You can ask me all these questions. I'm going to nip this in the bud now, so this will fit onto IGTV. But I've been Abby of Abby Tales Pet Services. This is all about preparing for a puppy. There will be more to come, but hopefully this will help you. Bye.